In the future, humanity goes downhill since no new babies have been born for 18 years. A global infertility crisis has affected all women, marking this as the final generation of humanity. This has sparked civil unrest and the downfall of governments across the globe, except for Britain. Britain stands alone as the last surviving nation, maintaining order under military control. Consequently, a wave of illegal immigrants floods into Britain, seeking refuge. Sadly, these immigrants face inhumane treatment, enduring brutal atrocities and executions. Amidst this turmoil, a British man named Theo walks into a coffee shop where patrons are engrossed in watching the news broadcast about Diego Ricardo, the youngest person on the planet at age 18, brutally stabbed and murdered outside a bar in Argentina. Theo grabs his coffee and exits the shop. Suddenly a deafening blast erupts behind him in the coffee shop, claiming the lives of everyone inside and injuring a few passers-by. Following that, Theo goes to his workplace, where everyone is sad about the news of the death of Diego Ricardo. Seeing that, Theo goes to his boss and lies that the death of Diego has affected him more than he expected and he requests to work from home for the day. His boss grants him permission, so Theo boards a train to get home. On his way, several illegal immigrants attack the train by throwing stones, but fortunately, the train's windows are equipped with iron grills that shield passengers from harm. After getting off the train, Theo meets his friend Jasper, who takes him to his home hidden amidst the jungle. Jasper is a former political cartoonist, who lives there with his paralyzed wife. Theo relaxes at Jasper's home while casually discussing the Human Project, a conspiracy organization working on a solution to humanity's infertility crisis. Theo expresses his belief that even if the Human Project is real, there is no longer any hope because the world has been irreversibly damaged, and humanity's extinction seems inevitable. The next morning, as Theo leaves for his office, members of the Fishies group kidnap him in a car. The Fishies are a militant group advocating for the rights of immigrants. They take Theo to his ex-wife Julian, who is the leader of Fishies, and whom Theo hasn't seen for 20 years. This is due to the tragic loss of their son Dylan 20 years ago, which strained their relationship and eventually led to their separation. Julian requests that Theo use his government connections to obtain transit papers for a refugee woman named Key, who needs to be transported to the coast past security checkpoints. She even offers Theo €5,000 for this task. Initially Theo turns down the offer, stating that it is too dangerous, but after a bit of intimidation he reluctantly agrees to help. Later on, Theo reaches out to his old friend Nigel who works at the Ministry of Arts department, and asks for his help in obtaining transit papers for a woman. Nigel agrees to help, but all he can do is joint transit papers, necessitating the presence of another individual alongside Key during checkpoint crossings. Following this Theo meets with Julian, along with her associate Luke, midwife Miriam, and Key. The entire group will accompany Theo and Key to the checkpoint, after which Theo and Key will be on their own. During the car ride, Theo and Julian reminisce about old memories by playing a weird game with a golf ball. Suddenly out of nowhere, a horde of illegal immigrants attack the car and Julian gets shot in the neck. The group somehow escapes the area, but on their way, the police stop them. Having no other option, Luke shoots the officers and drives away into the woods where Julian succumbs to her injuries. Theo walks away from the scene before breaking down into tears and mourning the death of his ex-wife. After this, Luke takes the group to the safe farm belonging to the Fishies, where Key will be cared for by the members of the militant group. Theo's role is now over, and he will be sent back to London the next day. A while later, while Theo is casually talking to one of the Fishies members, Key invites him to a barn for a private discussion. There, she reveals that Julian had told her that she could trust Theo and that he would help her reach a ship named the Tomorrow, where Human Project research is taking place. Theo is confused and doesn't want to do anything with this, so to convince him Key removes her dress, revealing her pregnancy. Shocked, Theo is left speechless, and the Fishies rush to the barn and take them back into the house. On the news channels, Luke and others who were present in the car are labeled as terrorists for killing 2 police officers, and a manhunt is initiated at every checkpoint. A heated debate erupts among the Fishies as they brainstorm how to overcome security challenges and reach the ship. Luke suggests that they should proceed with Key's delivery right here, and will take her to the ship once the matter settles down. However, Theo proposes otherwise, suggesting that they should make Key's pregnancy public. Another Fishies member argues that if they do this, the government will take her baby and treat Key just like any other illegal immigrant. Faced with limited options, they all come to the conclusion to proceed with Key's delivery at the current location. At midnight, Theo catches the rumble of a motorcycle downstairs. He goes down to find Luke talking to some people. Eavesdropping on their conversation, Theo discovers that Luke orchestrated the killing of Julian the previous morning so he could become the new leader of the Fishies. Moreover, he plans to kill Theo the next morning under the pretext of dropping him off in London, all part of a scheme to use Key's baby for his political gain. Shocked by this revelation, Theo promptly alerts Key and the midwife about the imminent danger, stressing the need to leave immediately. He quietly takes out the keys to all the cars to prevent Luke and his accomplices from pursuing them. The trio swiftly gets into a car and speeds away, with Luke's men chasing them on foot. Unfortunately, the car breaks down after a short distance, and the fishies are closing in. In a stroke of luck, Theo manages to jumpstart the car just in time before the fishies can capture them. He drives straight to his friend Jasper's house and shares the entire story with him. Jasper is astonished to learn about Key's pregnancy, considering it's been 18 years since anyone has been pregnant. Afterward, he prepares a meal for everyone and leaves the house after eating. After a while, Theo casually asks Key about the father of her baby. Key tells that she doesn't know the wanker's name and only discovered her pregnancy when she started experiencing symptoms such as vomiting and her belly growing larger. Later, Jasper returns home and informs them that he has found a way to get Key to the ship. He reveals that he bribed a border security guard with marijuana to arrange safe passage for Theo and Key to Bexhill. Bexhill is a refugee camp where the Human Project ship is scheduled to arrive offshore. The next morning, suddenly the house alarm goes off due to fishies closing in on Jasper's house, as detected by the motion sensor camera. The trio swiftly hops into the car to escape, but Jasper opts out of joining them. He assures Theo that he will divert Luke and his men in the wrong direction, providing them with enough time to run far away. Theo drives the car a short distance uphill and monitors the unfolding situation. Luke and his accomplices reach Jasper's house, searching for Theo and Key but fail to find them. Luke interrogates Jasper about their whereabouts, but Jasper repeatedly annoys him by asking him to choose one finger. Frustrated, Luke shoots Jasper multiple times, killing him. Witnessing the tragic fate of his friend shatters Theo's heart, yet he continues his journey with Key in the car. Throughout the journey, Theo doesn't speak a word, deeply affected by the loss of his friend. They spend the night near an abandoned school building, and in the morning, Jasper's friend Sid arrives, who was supposed to help them reach Bexhill. Sid takes the wheel and drives them in his car, mentioning that typically folks aim to escape Bexhill rather than head in. Nevertheless, he doesn't care about it as long as he is getting his marijuana. Sid stops the car near the gates of Bexhill, from where a bus will take them further. He informs Theo that once they get off the bus, they will meet a woman named Marika, who always carries a shitty dog with her, and she will arrange accommodation for them for the night. Unfortunately, as they ride the bus, Key is gripped by intense pain and her water breaks. The bus comes to a sudden halt at a checkpoint and a guard boards, randomly selecting passengers for disembarkation and executing them on the spot. The midwife, acting urgently, begins loudly invoking the name of Jesus like a madwoman, diverting the guard's attention away from Key. Irritated by her behavior, the guard forces her off the bus, allowing it to continue on its way. Upon reaching their destination, Theo and Key disembark from the bus, only to be met with a somber atmosphere outside. People are desperately searching for their families among those getting off the bus. Some are fortunate enough to reunite with their loved ones, while others only receive their dead bodies. As they walk further, Theo locates Marichka, who guides them to their room. Despite Key enduring serious labor pains, she manages to climb the stairs with Theo's support and reaches the room. Once inside, Theo encourages her to push, and with determined effort, Key gives birth to a healthy baby girl. However, she hasn't decided on her name yet. The next morning, Sid and Marichka show up at their room, and Sid informs them that clashes have erupted between the fishies and the British Army, rendering the area unsafe. The army is planning to blow up the area soon, so they need to evacuate immediately. However, suspicions arise in Sid when he notices Marichka's shitty dog continuously barking at Key. Upon investigation, he is startled to find Key holding a newborn. Sid's intentions suddenly turn malicious, and he attempts to forcibly take the baby from Key at gunpoint. Marichka intervenes, launching an attack on Sid, allowing them to escape from the perilous situation. Navigating through the chaos, Marichka leads Theo and Key to her family's home, where they are welcomed and well taken care of. One of Marichka's family members then guides Theo and Key toward a boat, which would take them to the rendezvous point. Unfortunately, they are ambushed by fishies along the way. Key and the baby are captured, and Luke orders his henchmen to eliminate Theo and his companions. However, the situation takes a turn when the British Army initiates firing, creating a diversion that allows Theo and Marichka to escape. Amid the crossfire, Theo spots Luke taking Key into a building. Navigating through the gunfire, Theo takes cover outside the building before entering inside. Inside, the scene is horrifying, with hundreds of dead bodies and individuals who have suffered amputations due to tank attacks. Making his way through the gunfire, Theo finally locates Key with her baby, huddled behind cover through a broken wall. As Theo begins to take Key to safety, a wounded Luke tries to stop him, arguing that the baby is their last hope. However, when Theo reveals that it's a baby girl, Luke's hope shatters. Just as Theo exits the room, it falls victim to the explosion, resulting in Luke's demise. The deafening blast causes the baby to cry loudly, capturing the attention of both the fishies and the army. The gunfire abruptly stops as both parties are left in awe. They allow the trio to pass before starting to fight again once they reach a safe distance. They reunite with Marichka, who leads them to a boat in a tunnel that connects to the ocean. Upon reaching the ocean, they witness British fighter jets conducting airstrikes on Bexhill, reducing it to ashes. Theo rows the boat to the rendezvous point in heavy fog. Suddenly Key spots blood on the boat, and it becomes apparent that Theo has been shot and is slowly succumbing to his injuries. Assuring Key that he is fine, Theo instructs her on how to calm the crying baby by gently tapping her back. The baby gradually quiets down and Key decides to name her Dylan, in honor of Theo's and Julian's lost son. As the Tomorrow ship approaches through the mist, Theo smiles weakly and peacefully passes away. The scene then cuts to black, and the laughter of children is heard, signifying that humanity is thriving once again as the infertility crisis is solved. The IMDb rating of this movie is 7.9 and I think it's perfect. See you in the next video, till then take care and goodbye.